Ke shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechaha Hadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akhwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachana Nawah. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Wanted to touch on this article with Elon Musk's dad. Says you want to go back to the jungle. Elon Musk's dad says U.S. is doomed as he's told whites are becoming minority. Right? And this is a scary thing for these Edomites, man. It's a scary thing. Now, when I was looking at the comments, hey, people in them comments, and it seems to be a lot of Jake in there, because Jake waking up. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You know, when we say Jake, we mean Jacob, because that's who you are. You are Hebrew Israelites. You know, you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Jacob's name was changed to Israel, or Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew tongue, and he had 12 sons. Those 12 sons became the progenitor of the Israelites, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Latinos, Dominicans, you know, a bunch of different names that these so-called white people gave us when they, conquered us, so to speak. And the only reason why they did conquer us was because of the prophecy and, the will of the Lord. They didn't do this on their own because they don't have the power or might to do so, even though they think they do, So that's who you come from. That's your biblical nationality. Stop calling yourselves these bywords, man. You are Israelites. Now, you don't have to go to the job and, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Got fringes all over everything. You want to use wisdom and, just go get your little coins at your jobs, man. But if you have the unction to teach, you've been in this truth and you can do lessons, teach, man, because, we're in the last days. The scripture says to pray, for more laborers for the harvest, because the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So we need all the workers that we can possibly get. We're at war. Spiritually, we're at war. So, we have to prophesy against this man's kingdom and, let our people know, hey, time is running short, because this man, he's about to go out. And when he goes out, he's going to be like a little fucking baby, man, kicking. He's going to be like, if I can't have it, no one can. And he don't give a fuck. He'll blow everybody up, But let's get into a little bit of the article. Elon Musk's father, Elon Musk, was visibly irked when told that whites in the U.S. are expected to become the minority population in the next 20 years, prompting him to ask, you want to go back to the jungle? Well, first off, we're praying that it won't be no 20 years. We can't see it. Can't see Esau ruling another 10 years. We can't see another 5. We're praying that it's not another 1. Hell, we can't see 3. Everything is all on the timing of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But the prophecies are playing out. So as the prophecies are playing out, we can see that we're close. And it's articles like this right here that shows and tells that we're close. So you have to be spiritual. You have to be spiritual in this thing. Because this man, he's coming down with great wrath. Why you think he's rounding up only the so-called Latinos, Hispanics, Mexicans, Hondurans? Why you think they only rounding up those people, as far as the ICE raids, when just a couple of years back, I was looking at news articles, looking at live news, unless they was making this shit up live, which, Esau does a lot of that, but I can't see them making this up. But, they was arresting, there was a lot of Chinese people. There was a lot of Japanese people. It was people from all fucking, they was coming across, Iranians, all kinds of motherfuckers was coming through that border, man. Millions. From what they said, it was all kinds of people coming through those borders, man. But they're not rounding up Chinese people. They're not rounding up Japanese people. They're not rounding up the Palestinians here. They're not rounding up the Iranians that's here. They're not rounding up, Russian immigrants and Ukrainian immigrants and people that's overstayed their visas and stuff like that. All you seeing is them rounding up the Israelites. That's a sign, right? Because they know that when these studies came out, and you can take Esau's data with a grain of salt, but I've done lessons on these things, man, where, basically the top number 1 baby producers out here is Northern Kingdom. so-called Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, Latinos, Hispanic, you know, they're the ones that's having babies, right? Then next in line is who? Judah. Then next in line, shit, the so-called white man, hell, he's damn near on the level of the Asians here. You know, them Asians, they, you know, you don't hear too much about their birth rates like that, but you don't see them walking around, you know, with a stroller full of babies, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, 5, 6, 7 kids in Walmart, you know. But these Edomites are on the bottom, man, right? So this scares the shit out of these people. It says Musk's comments came during an interview with CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan for his new special, Misinformation, White Genocide, right? In the show's promotional clip, O'Sullivan said he traveled to South Africa to find the white genocide President Trump keeps talking about. So, you know, Trump been lying about these people over there being killed. And matter of fact, they're the ones that's over there running every goddamn thing, you know. But Trump used that to make it seem as if, you know, but we get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Scripture talks about that, not being deceived, man, by this man, not being ignorant of his schemes, you know. He wants to bring in those South Africans and all these so-called white people from these other countries to try and build up the white race, man. They're dying off quicker than they're being born. That's the bottom line, right? So it says, Trump and Elon Musk have pushed the claim that white South Afrikaners are victims of genocide as a way to justify refugee resettlement in the United States. The big concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the U.S. right now, is America in the next 20 years will become, for the first time in history, a minority white country. That's the reason why. And this is Edomites. Matter of fact, what the scripture says about Esau, he's going to tell on himself. He's gonna run it. He's gonna give you all the information that you need right now. This is Esau podcast. This is Esau's story. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. See? So they're telling on themselves right now. And they can't stop all these podcasts, man, all these different YouTube channels, different TikToks that's going on, different, man. The information is so overwhelming and just flooding the airwaves, so to speak. Esau can't shake it, man. He wants to, but he can't. And the only way that he's going to be able to shake it and really shut it down is to completely shut down the internet altogether. And that's when that, you know, we're looking for the famine of the word to come, which is it's Amos 8:11. So we're well aware that eventually our talking platform is going to be over with. We can see how they're shutting down channels already, how they're already messing with the channels. You know what I'm saying? How they're buffering and speeding up your videos and blacking out your videos and, you know, doing a little trickery and fuckery with your videos. You know, we can see all that playing out right now. Right. So they taking down channels. I done lost like 3 channels within the past month or so. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's why it's so important that you Israelites, you get it now. You got to get it now. It's almost like first come, first serve basis, man. You got to get this word now. Because when Esau shut it all down, well, it's going to be the Lord. The Lord is going to be the one that's going to shut the doors of grace. After this word goes up, you know, he is just going to come a day where he's just going to be like, up, that's it. Shut it down. That's when you're going to have, let me get verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. This is when, you know, people going to really be like, oh, shit. Because, see, right now, they talking about opening the government back up. And, you know, all these people out here cheering and shit. Oh, yeah, food stamps about to be back popping. You know, we about to, you know, be all right for Christmas and all this other shit. The scriptures talks about when they get to talking about peace and safety, you roughly paraphrasing, you need to beware. But let's go back into what this guy says. Because these are some very racist people, too. I could play the video. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me get the copyright disclaimer and I will play the video and we can get it right out of the horse's mouth. You know, I try and stay away from playing some of these videos because, like I said, again, YouTube, they've been going on a real tantrum with the videos as far as like the if you're not putting up a copyright disclaimer, so to speak, and even then they still snatching down videos. But let me do it like this. Let me see. A bunch of bullshit. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Fuck it. Let's just put in copyright disclaimer. I have to do it like this. Let's just get this one. It says copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. It's a little bit more to it too. Let me see. Oh, they got it in French. I think that is. But the point is made there. Fair use, man. Fair use as I play this video. Let's go back into that news thing. So let's see if we can play this video, see what he's fussing about.
The big concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the US right now, is America in the next 20 years will become, for the first time in its history, a minority white country.
Well, that will be a very, very bad thing to happen. You want to see the US go down? Why? Oh, you don't like cars and electric cars, and you don't like technology, or what is it? You want to go back to the jungle, or?
If the US becomes a minority white country.
Yes.
So there's Latinas, there's blacks, there's people from all different races make up the majority, and then, it could be 48% white people. Do you really think the US is doomed if it goes under?
Yes, it goes under there.
Seriously?
Yes, of course. You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black
No.
for decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work, we fed them. They grew from a tiny little group into a massive group. That's not oppression, that's feeding them. Do you understand? You only grow big if you get fed. You only start at 800 and become 50 million if you get fed. We fed them, for crying out loud. Enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
You never saw it.
No, I never saw it.
Yeah, because you're white.
And there you have it. And a conversation of this man, his mom is like, Elon's mom is like that, but they just some bunch of fucking racists, man. Like you can hear that pride in his voice. Like, look, no, we fed them. We didn't oppress them. No, you went in, you stole the shit, just like you stole America and stole every land that you're in, other than Mount Seir. Your ass should be in them caves, which you're going back to. When he said, you want us to go back to the jungle or whatever the fuck he was saying. Well, actually, I mean, shit, you came from them caves. They out here fronting as if nothing can survive without them. If the so-called white man is not in power, everything else will fail. When we can clearly see that with your ass in power, everything is fucked all up. Matter of fact, let me get this. Hey, it's so-called white people right now that's fussing and bickering about your rulership, your own people. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. People are mourning. So-called white people are mourning right now. I just done a lesson on motherfuckers talking about I'm living check to check. So-called white people, man, they're the ones with the most TikToks talking about how awful they're doing. Your own people are suffering. So we already know. Look, the times of the 1700s, 1800s, when Esau really had that grind of really fucking you up and nobody was protesting, when you had no rights to protest or you had no right to kind of defend yourself, so to speak, like how, you know, even though they still over us today, but you at least, you know, motherfucker get on your lawn and get to try and burn on a goddamn cross, you can gun his ass down, so to speak, without, you still had to go to court and prove the shit out of yourself, but it's not like how it used to be where you was just totally defenseless. So imagine those times, man, when Jake had no actual voice. Motherfuckers able to come, snatch, you know, throw your ass out of the cabin, you know, bang grandmama down, leave his seed in her. You know what I'm saying? She's pregnant with this nigga's seed while she's laying with a husband that he so-called gave her. You know, sell off the damn kids into another cracker. All this other crazy shit. You know, just this man has been torturous to the children of Israel on this planet. You can clearly see this man's, you can clearly see it in him. You don't have to actually, you can't say that racism doesn't exist, man, with people on the planet like this, man. Trump think the same way. He running around out here about to go fucking nuts over these Epstein files. But that's the Lord breaking their asses down. See, these older ones, these older people like this, they cannot fucking handle the fact that they falling like how they're falling, because they can remember when it was good. See, it's these younger ones that's like, oh, well, we love hip hop. You know, I just copped the Jordan number 5s, you know, the new Adidas is, you know, trying to copy Jake and do what Jake do. Yeah, I just copped that new, you know, Mobb Deep or, you know, whatever album, the Kendrick Lamar, and they running around out here, they dressing like Jake, getting the haircuts like Jake. You know, trying to look like Jake, the chicks getting asses and lips and all this other. See, they can't, they're okay with what's going on, so to speak. But see, these older ones that's dying off, that dying age of them, they can't believe what they're seeing. Right? So he has no idea that this place is done, man. And I can't grab a few of these comments, but let me just grab. Got to get the classic real quick. Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. This is what we're witnessing. Look, I feel all fluttery inside when I see these crackers thinking this way and seeing the fear in them. Remember that, what's the old school Chuck D, Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. You know, but even though the ones that, you know, they pretty much, it's Israelites over there, but, you know, they pretty much fucked them Hamites over. That's who they was fucking over there with that apartheid. Because we're not Hamites, we're not Africans, we're Shemites, man. We are Israelites. We're not no fucking bone through the nose, spear chunking ass Africans, man. They asses going into captivity too, right along with these Edomites, man. Let's get Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. You're small among the heathen. You're greatly despised. As a matter of fact, let's check out some of these comments. Let's check out a few of these comments. It says, imagine, this first one, imagine having this kind of panic about being outnumbered by other humans. Get over it. See? Somebody says they know what's coming. Somebody replies to that person with 3 smiley faces. Somebody replies to that person, exactly. We can read between the lines for sure. Yeah. But see, you got a lot of these Jake. They really believe that, you know, we're just gonna take over America one day, and one day we're just gonna outpopulate them. We're just gonna be, you know, we're gonna vote more of our people in. We're gonna win, you know, marching, and eventually we're gonna wear them down. No, what's gonna happen is the Lord is gonna come, and these people are going into fucking chains. These people are going into captivity to go along with the rest of the nations. Because all these nations play a part in Jacob's downfall, man. Scripture talks about that. These people are going into captivity. Ain't gonna be no, we gonna, you know, run them down on this side. No, what's gonna happen is, hey, when the Lord is gonna send destruction to this place, especially these Americas, or what he's talking about. And 2/3 of our people are going to catch that goddamn fire too, because they're so damn stupid and hard-headed and stiff-necked that they really believe that they're going to somehow blend into this man's kingdom and someday overtake it. It's not going to work that way. You need to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai before he tortures these fucking people. And the ones that's left over, let's get this. And this is for all these nations, because it's not just America, you know, where the you know, the birth rate is falling and all this other stuff. This is all these fucking Edomite countries. All these Edomite countries, man, have this problem. All these countries are trying to come up with they're trying to pay women to have babies. Russia was just trying to pay some 16-year-olds to have some kids and shit. You know, Trump just tried to do that shit. He just had it wasn't even that long ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago, or no, probably a month now, when they had that little congressional meeting. He signed that executive order for, you know, IVF and, you know, fertility and, you know, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? For these Edomites that can't have no fucking kids, because they feel like they can control who has kids and who don't. But guess what? The Lord is the Father of spirits. When he wants to shut a nation down, he shuts their asses down. And that's what he's doing to you Edomites. He has made you small amongst the heathen, and you are very greatly despised. Don't nobody like your fucking ass, because you're wicked as hell. Revelation 13, let me start at verse 9 here. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what's about to happen to you Edomites, the ones of you that's left. None of you are going to be left here in the Americas. All y'all going to get that torch. All y'all going to catch a goddamn missile, man. But the ones of you that are left, oh, we going to breed the shit. Oh, you going to have some babies then. You're going to have some babies in our kingdom. You know why? Because we're going to breed y'all asses like you bred us. Same way that you had mandingos running in, hitting 16, 17, 20, 30 of you know, because that's how Esau got now. You know, Esau, back in slavery, let's just say you was just a small-time slave owner. Shit, by a couple of generations, man, you can be big. All you needed was two dudes. You got you two big, burly-ass so-called black men. You got you like 4 women. Right? You could start off light. It could have just been a man and a woman. Oh, I just bought a man and woman slave. I'm going to put them together. You know, first baby come out. He's hoping it's a son. Daughter, it don't even make no difference. But by the time those kids is born, he'll make that brother and his sister get together and have sex and to produce another baby. This is how wicked and psycho this motherfucker is. But he had stables where, you know, he would have a couple of men. He'd have about 20 or so women. Depends how much money they had at the time. But imagine 3 dudes. You got 3 big-ass mandingos, and they banging out 20 women. All 20 women are pregnant at one time. Within a year, this motherfucker got 20 slaves. And as time goes on, it don't take but a few years within 5, because, you know, he was putting kids in the motherfucking field early. 3, 4, 5 years old. Kids on the back of you know, with a damn knapsack in a fucking cotton field, man. So by the time, let's just say these kids, or them 20 kids all turn 12, 13. Not to mention the ones that he was popping himself. Come on, man. So, yes, in our kingdom, yeah, you're going to be able to produce again. But it's not going to be for your benefit. It's going to be for ours. So we can have more slaves to pass around to our people. Here's a boy and a girl for you know, a Passover or whatever high holy day it may be, or Purim or whatever you know, whatever holiday it may be, and we're just having festivities, or I just, you know, just the beloved brother Allah come through and shit. Nah, yeah, bro, I got these are yours, bro. A matter of fact, go out and pick, you know, pick any of the boys and girls you want, man. You know what I'm saying? Take them with you, bro. Yeah, the gifts from me to you. Have a good time with him. You know, put your asses to work. Any kind of, put you to whatever he want to do with you. That's his choice, because that's what you motherfuckers done to us, man. So we're living in beautiful times, man. This is what parts of the rewards are. You know, this is not the big thing of it, but to just be out of the hands of our enemies, like, you know, Luke chapter 1 talks about. Just to be out of these motherfuckers' atmosphere, man, of them ruling over us, man. It's gonna be so beautiful. To know real freedom, Jake don't know. We don't know real freedom, man. You got to get up and go to work for this motherfucker every day. You got to make sure that your tabs and your plates and your license is right and all this other shit to move about in the land. This nigga get to swirling on you, turn on this motherfucking lights, pull your ass over just cuz. Give you a ticket just cuz. Or gun your ass down, you know? So anyway, yeah, motherfucker. Y'all gonna have some kids, but it's gonna be for us. Let's get a couple more of these comments and I'll end out. Oh, so one of them right here says, we don't pop out, because we don't pop out kids that we can't support, expecting the state to pay for them. Where's the pride, people? See? So little motherfuckers like this right here, you're going into captivity. You can't, matter of fact, you can't pop out no babies like that because you can't fucking afford them. The reason why you can't afford them because your own people have enslaved your stupid ass. You're slaves in your own kingdom. You're doing hard. It's so-called black people doing far better than so-called white people in a lot of situations here in this kingdom. Right? Yeah, let me see. It says, oh no, white people may have to face discrimination like every other minority existence. God forbid they get a taste of their own medicine. See, and then you got somebody says, so what sort of discrimination do you face? And what can a white man do that you cannot? See? Well, I tell you what, we can't leave this fucking country without you crackers' permission. We need your passport. I tell you what, you crackers is taking money out of our checks every goddamn week or 2 weeks or every month. And we don't have no say in it. We don't have no say as to where it's going and what you're doing with it. So see, they don't look beyond the fact that you can just go get a job like how they got one. Well, okay, motherfucker, you got a job. I got a job. Okay, well, shit, we got to keep some food on the table, right? Motherfucking roof over the head, right? But they not looking at the fact that, okay, this is your kingdom. Your people are making the rules, the regulations. It's your people that's on the face of the money and shit. It's your people that's pushing your fucking say for instance, you can, these people can come and take your kids. Now, can they come and take so-called white people kids? Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, but this is your kingdom. But you shouldn't be able to do that to us if we're so-called free. Our kids have to go to school and learn about LGBTQ from you motherfuckers. We don't have no say in that. And if we tell our kids anything other than that, then you can come take the kids. That's child abuse. You motherfuckers is over us talking about us men have to pay fucking child support. It's you. You're overtaxing us. You're the ones that's, overpricing us for food, water. Motherfucker gotta come to your ass to have a fucking place to stay. Like, no. See, they don't get that. They don't see it from that standpoint because their minds are so goddamn puny. But we're gonna show you motherfuckers. We're gonna show you what it's really like. We're gonna show you. See, they're oppressed as well, but they don't know true oppression. Because they still got it. You know what I'm saying? They in their kingdom, they still got it. They don't know what true actual oppression is when it comes to somebody actually being over you. Ruling over your ass with an iron fist, man. They